Looks good to me. I swear, between you and Miss Katie, y'all got the market cornered. You guys seem to know what the fuck you're doing.
With this one, I say let's get into it and we'll circle back around.
All right. Well, shit. Yeah, we'll just jump right into it. So, what we have before us right now is a beautiful cocktail in a frozen coupe glass called the Heavenly Ghost.
Because we're no poop.
We are no poop. We freeze our coupes around here. Right around here. And it's called the Heavenly Ghost because it is a recipe Mr. W2 picked up off of the Ghostwood website. Ghostwood, Heavenly Ghost. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And it does look divine. So I would call that heavenly. Well, what do you say we get into it and just cheers?
Let's do it. Let's do an air clank.
Okay, air clank.
Clink. Because these are full.
They are full. Lots of chocolate and creaminess on that nose.
Holy amazeballs.
That's beautiful. And you can... Whoa. When the finish comes near...
Wow.
You can actually taste the spirit. I was worried about not being able to taste it.
Wow. But again, we used the barrel-aged or the barrel-proofed version.
Had we not used that, we might not have been able to taste it.
I don't think it would have came through.
It would have been just a boozy, chocolatey, creamy.
Yeah.
It's almost like French silk.
Foo-foo.
It's almost like a French silk pie.
Oh my God, dude.
But with bourbon.
I'm not wasting any time. I'm also going to jump into Katie's birthday German chocolate pie from the upper crust.
Which looks absolutely delightful.
Because I think these are going to pair quite well together. Oh, yeah.
Is it the same crust?
Same crust?
That was on that peanut butter pie? Looks like it.
Probably similar, yeah. A little bit of coconut, some dark chocolate. Mm-hmm. It's sprinkled with powdered sugar on top.
Mm-hmm. It's like a sore dick.
Dude, you cannot beat tonight. Oh my God, dude.
I'm not a fan of German chocolate cake, but this pie, I knew it was going to be a completely different experience, and it is. The pie is really good.
And this cocktail, holy... Katie and I have gone to Vegas a handful of times. Mm-hmm. Inside New York is a chocolate bar that does amazing chocolate martinis.
Okay.
They have an entire menu of all these different chocolate martinis. I don't think they have a whiskey martini, which is a disservice to them. But again, because... and again, it's just one of those semantic things.
Yeah.
I just feel like there is a stigma, a stereotype, whatever you want to call it. Martini is gin or vodka based.
Yeah.
So as a result, I decided to do this one in the coupe glass, which I feel is the right choice because everything about it feels right. Mm-hmm. But this kicks the shit out of every other chocolate martini I've ever had, including the ones there at New York.
New York is the hotel where I stayed when I went out there.
I love that place
for work. Yeah, it's incredible.
Great hotel.
That said, coming back to this cocktail, it's in a coupe glass, and coupe glasses are known for Manhattans. Mm-hmm. Manhattans have rye in them. Mm-hmm. Pepper and chocolate goes well together. So if you can find a high rye, something that's like nuclear high, like
double rye,
like Bullet Rye, the High West double rye, Basil Hayden rye,
seagrass.
That seagrass might work perfectly in this. It might be a little too boozy, but you've got all these ingredients. You can go back.
That would give this
rye.
That would give this just a hint of that citrus.
Yeah.
On the seagrass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That seagrass had so much going on with it. It was so good. But going back to what this is right now, not what else it could be. What it is right now is tasty as hell. So good. I might throw a toasted marshmallow in there. I might.
Oh, hell. put a marshmallow on a skewer and put the torch on it.
Just to add to the garnish. Right now, the garnish is just it's grated milk chocolate, Hershey's, of course. Perfect.
Which,
right, chef's kiss, so good.
and thank you again, Miss Katie, for sharing your birthday pie. This German chocolate pie from Upper Crust is one of her standing every year requests for her birthday.
Gotta have it. Yeah. Yep. And so as far as the research and development team goes, the R&D Wayne goes, you got to throw some rye in this and see how it goes. Do you have all right, so besides the barrel
I've got a couple ryes.
Okay. Do you have a high rye?
I've got a High West double rye.
So okay, so you have a bottle of that too. Well,
I do.
Look at the two of us. Loving the same shit. Yeah, we both love the hell out of that.
Imagine
that. When we first tried it, we were both like, "Wow, this is really fucking good." It still is. That was one of those bottles that, Jennifer was overwhelmed by with my whiskey collection, wondering just what in the fuck are we going to do with all this shit? And I'm like, well, I got to tell you. And she asked me, which ones are your favorites? And I could not narrow that down.
Katie has asked me that, and I go,
right? It's deer in the headlights because I love each and every one of them for different
reasons, right?
Right. I got this bottle of monkey shoulder from a guy at work that I really wanted to rearrange his fucking dental plan because he was pissing me off. I really did, dude. I really fucking did. And then like another one is that high rye. We discovered that here on the podcast, and I really loved it. And the Basil Hayden rye, and actually I pointed at the Basil Hayden toast that you had gotten me for Father's Day, and I had, but that bottle's empty. I'm saving it for something else. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Words. So yeah, I pointed at the Basil Hayden toast that you had gotten me for Father's Day, and said this was incredible. But Basil Hayden has probably my favorite rye, but the High West rye is stupid good too. And over here, the Blacktooth rye, the Dimebag's Blacktooth rye. Hey Ozzy, what's up, little buddy? But yeah, looking over at the other ryes I have, there was the Blacktooth rye, Dimebag's rye, and I was like, I love this one too. Yeah, it's a little lower in proof, but it's still stupid good. I love it. And like every bottle has a different memory associated with it, so there was no way I could tell her which bottle I loved more than the other one.
What about right? Exactly. What about this cocktail with the Angel's Envy maple cask rye?
All right. You go bring that fucking Angel's Envy into anything, dude. It's game over. Over. Yeah. So when it comes to Angel's Envy, I didn't even bring
or West Bottom, for that matter.
West Bottom, yeah. I picked up the bottle of the maple cask finished rye, and I said, this one's incredible. And like now, I'm afraid you can't even get it anywhere anymore. Like
it's getting hard to find.
They just stopped making it. Like they made it, and that was it. I'm betting him. He's good. He's so vocal. He's telling us all about it.
He has definitely settled into home.
Yeah. Yeah, Ozzy has graced us with his presence.
Yep. He is quite content. He loves his home.
And his coat is much softer than it was when you first got him.
Yep.
That's a sign that he's being loved.
He currently every night he's at the end of our bed. There's been several nights that I've like rolled over and he's like snuggled up like between Katie and I, and I'm like, dude, that's my space.
My fucking house. I pay the bills around here. You ain't doing shit. Get a job, motherfucker. But you can't talk to a cat like that and expect him to respond accordingly. What's he gonna do? Run out and apply for a bank teller job? No,
and not a good boy like this.
No, he wouldn't. He couldn't even cut it as a Walmart greeter.
I want another one of these cocktails. This is so fucking good.
Well, I say go for it. You can even try it with the other bottle if you want, but I have to be done. Otherwise, I'll be driving sideways home. Ozzy, you're gonna use your finger to clean that coupe? I thought she married you for your tongue.
It's my finger.
Mr. fucking bass player, finger picker. But so I guess with it being February, we got Valentine's Day coming up. You got any plans for Miss Katie?
It's right around the corner.
Actually, you know what? If you have plans with Miss Katie, maybe if it's a surprise, then there's no way you can talk about it on the podcast. Shh. All right. We'll have to keep those plans under wraps, undercover, so to speak. Well, Mr. W2, do you have any? Oh, we have not gone through the rating.
Oh, we did not. Well, shit the bed.
I was going to ask you.
Ozzy already did.
Boy, howdy. Yeah, I was going to ask you for closing thoughts, but I looked over here at my blank page, and I'm like, we haven't even done this. So now that it's empty, it's going to be
on the nose. I gave this one 3 3/4.
3 3/4. I gave it a 4.0, an even 4.
And thank God that was before Ozzy.
Right, that would have ruined the nose. Would have fucking ruined the whole weekend. Goodness. How about the palate?
4.5.
You know what? That's what I gave it on the palate. Why did you give it a 4.5 on the palate?
I don't know. I loved everything about it. It was.
I mean, it's almost a 5.
It was stellar. Yeah.
It's a half point shy of a 5. It seemed like it wowed you.
Maybe it was just so simple. I mean, just thinking about all the cocktails we've made, where we've muddled or we've done some crazy spiral citrus garnish or whatever. This was straightforward. It was just put the ingredients in the shaker, shake the hell out of it, strain it, grate some chocolate on the top of it, and call it done. It was simple. It was definitely not a 5.
Well, that works for me.
So
the finish, I gave a 4, 4.0.
I gave it a 4 or 5.
A what? A 4.5
on the finish. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that because it was chocolatey. And it was
I honestly wanted a 32-ounce Quick Trip cup full of this shit.
A big gulp. I want to go to 7-Eleven and ruin my weekend. It was really good. On the finish,
I would honestly compromise presentation if I could get this in a Quick Trip cup.
Yeah. Keep on pouring it in. Keep on pouring. Yeah, did you see that reel when it was like keep on burning? That was pretty funny. Anyway, yeah, if you want to know what I'm talking about, just go back through all of our Advent calendar reels on YouTube and find that one.
Such a good time.
When you find it, fucking hit like and leave me a comment and tell me how dumb I am. Please and thank you. Presentation on this cocktail, I gave it a 5. What did you give? What'd you say? Fucking 2.5?
I actually had planned on giving myself a 5, but I gave myself another 4 3/4. I thought I gave myself a 5. God damn it. Well,
that's pretty funny.
It's whatever.
As simple as this cocktail looked, I mean, it looked like an opaque, milkshake colored fluid with
a lot of cream in
chocolate
there
on the top, but I mean, it looks simple, but full disclosure, I'm probably just going to give all of your cocktails a 5. So all that added up and divided by 2, that brings me to my total score on this. All that added up brings my total to 8 3/4.
Mine came out to 8 3/4.
Weird, with different math.
Weird.
We ended up with the same numbers. How about that? So I wrote down a chocolatey sweet delight that is sure to be a hit at your next party.
Boy, howdy.
It's really not that descriptive of a description, but it's what I got. And dear listener, if you want to try it, you don't have to use the barrel proof bourbon of choice. We used the Ghostwood barrel proof at 114 proof, but it doesn't necessarily need to be that high a proof. We wanted to use that because here at Savor the Burn Studios, we like the spirit to take the spotlight, take the
center stage.
That's the words. Thank you, stupid whiskey. We like the spirit of choice to take center stage, and the rest of it is backup dancers, and they're not just there for the party, not just there for the jazz hands and spirit fingers, but they're part of the whole experience, which is what we love about the cocktails that we make here. Now, no, it doesn't need to be 114 proof, barrel proof spirit that you're throwing at this cocktail, but the one that we used had so much to offer. It really helped make this cocktail, especially on the finish, which you don't really pay too much attention to the finish on a cocktail like this. This was like drinking French silk pie, a boozy French silk pie. But I mean, that's kind of how I felt drinking it. What would you?
100%.
Would you agree?
100%.
Okay, so
I'm still sitting over here nosing my empty coupe glass.
His fingers smeared streaks in his glass.
It's so good. The other thing though too is even at 114 proof, and we feel the barrel proof was the right way to go. Mm-hmm. It wasn't overly boozy.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. Not to us.
Just the palate notes that we experienced neat were present in the experience. And so it was not boozy by any means. Those neat palate flavors were just there and present. So
I agree. And if you're not that big of a fan of higher proof whiskeys, and or bourbons, for that matter, if you like a little bit of alcohol in your cocktails, but you just can't handle a lot of alcohol in your cocktail, like a high proof, that's fine. I mean, you can go with the original 90 proof of the Ghostwood whiskey, 4-grain blended bourbon whiskey. There'd be no problem with this cocktail with that,
or another whiskey for that matter.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, we were talking earlier. If you threw a rye at it, it would probably be just as good.
This particular bourbon, though, it paired well with it. It was Ghostwood's recipe that they put out there. Mm-hmm. We made it as stated on their website, with the exception of we used their barrel proof.
Yeah.
Versus their regular proof. But I think you could use any quality bourbon in its place and still have a great cocktail.
Yeah.
This particular bourbon, though, pairs really, really well with it. The flavors, they translate well, and they marry well with all the different chocolate and cream notes that come out of this cocktail.
I totally agree. So, dear listener, if you're looking for a chocolatey sweet delight that is sure to be a hit at your next party, definitely check out the Heavenly Ghost cocktail featuring Ghostwood Black, barrel-proof blended bourbon whiskey. And you're just not going to be disappointed. Like, if you love a French silk pie and you just wish it was a little bit boozy, this is your cocktail. Or maybe you wish it was a lot of bit boozy. This is your cocktail. This is your cocktail, because it's going to hit you and you didn't really even know it hit you.
Right.
You're just going to be sitting there like, this is a good, yummy drink.
And if you really like it, go ahead and mix that up in a Quick Trip 32-ounce cup.
The big gulp. Go to 7-Eleven, get you a big gulp. But make sure you're not driving when you do that.
No.
Make sure you have a designated driver should you need to go to 7-Eleven to get the big gulp or the Quick Trip big old styrofoam cup.
Are you familiar with tropical liqueur?
Like what?
Or AKA Trops?
No.
It is
I don't speak street.
It is a bar / establishment in Columbia.
Okay.
They sell super boozy frozen drinks.
Oh.
So you walk in, they've got the slushy machines all around the background, and they've got all these different ones. They are famous for, they pour them in styrofoam cups with the red straw, so you can get them to go. Dear listener.
But this is in Columbia, Missouri?
In Columbia.
Okay.
Yes, but over Thanksgiving, we were in St. Louis. We went to a St. Louis Blues game at Enterprise Center in downtown. Inside the arena, there was a Trops.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And they did not have our favorite almond... I'm blanking on what it's called. Almond something. Anyway... But they had a limited menu because they were, in the Blues Stadium. Katie got one, and they served it up in a styrofoam cup, red straw. So anyway, I'm just saying.
Okay.
This cocktail in a large 32-ounce styrofoam cup, red straw, you're going to be a happy camper.
That's going to knock down on the presentation for me, I'm afraid.
It might.
If there's a fucking styrofoam anything near it, I'm going to be upset. Stick a straw in it. I'm probably not going to be upset, but I'm going to be like, oh, man. What the hell? Quarter point negative.
32 ounces versus 5.5 ounces.
Yeah, I'm good with 5.5 ounces. I'm good. I'm good. Actually, I'm great. Because this was a really good cocktail. I gave it an 8 3/4, and so did you.
I did.
And actually, I feel like I should have dropped mine down a quarter point because I didn't fucking lick the coupe glass that it came out.
Well, you should have, damn it.
I might when nobody's looking. It's kind of weird for me to lick a coupe glass clean when there's another man across the table from me looking at me. You didn't seem to care. There's no shame in your world.
No judgment.
No judgment. Right, yeah, I definitely don't judge you. In fact, I made a sex joke out of it. Family show. Hey-o. But thank you, dear listener, for listening to this episode of the Savor the Burn podcast. If you're in the mood for a chocolatey sweet delight that is sure to be a hit at your next party, such as like a French silk pie, flavored boozy cocktail, this is the one you want to get. The Heavenly Ghost, featuring the Ghostwood Black barrel proof blended bourbon whiskey. And we have no complaints with that bourbon whiskey, neat or in a cocktail. Anything you want to add, Mr. W2?
Good.
Good, yeah. Ow. Yeah, no matter who you are, what you're drinking, who you're with, and what everybody else is drinking, always remember, dear listener, to keep on burning.